This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the faucet.
We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a f***ing car, for Christ's sake.
No, hi, my name is Peter.
Yeah, I want.
Here's good.
Yeah.
Madam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on.
He likes it.
It's showtime. Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorce dad, single dad, divorce dad, single dad, Peter G Show. That's right, it's showtime right here. And I got other things going on all at once. How the hell is everybody? It's Wednesday. That's right. Right here. And what the hell is going on? I'm going to shoot myself right now. Spring has sprung. Spring has sprung. It's a beautiful day out today. I don't know what you guys are doing, but it was a beautiful day. And I got to see where the hell things are coming from. All right. Sorry. I had plenty of time to do everything today. Plenty of time because we busted our ass Monday and Tuesday. And then we got so comfortable today that down to the last 10 minutes, I forgot one of the most important things starting the show. And it was it's like putting the key in the ignition to actually start the show. But anyway, we're here and that's all that matters. It's a good thing, a beautiful thing. I hope everybody's doing well. You're watching Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show. It's a fantastic day out today. And speaking of fantastic, I'm going to have a fantastic show today because I'm going to have a fantastic guest on because we are going off the Peter G Show beaten path today. Today we're doing, this is going to be my first. I've never had a comedian on this show. But tonight, on this show right here, that's right. And believe me, we spare no expense. And when we pull all the plugs and we're going for it, it's right here on this show. And tonight I'm going to have comedian, philosopher, motivational speaker, Mr. Rodney Norman on this show. Right here, coming up in a few minutes. That's right. So you might want to just, go get the popcorn, grab yourself a seat, like always, an adult beverage, whatever it takes, because tonight's going to be a little bit different, and I'm looking forward to it. We, a lot of times we do a lot of serious stuff, but when we goof, we goof. I love it because keeps the heart healthy. But anyway, that's what's going on in just a couple of minutes. But next week, reminder as always, next week is the last show of the month, and I'm getting fortunate enough that last show is going to be all me, and I kind of like that. I miss it. Because, we have guests on so much that I don't get the time to bitch about things that I want to bitch about or talk about things and open the phone lines and all that. And so next week, right here on Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show, we are going to, believe me, I got a collection of stuff. And this is what drives me so crazy because every day I'm walking around because I go do I try most, let's say 5 to 6 days out of the week, I walk about 4 or 5 miles. Up and down hills and this and that, trying to keep as much fat ass, trying to stay in a little bit better shape. And I'm always thinking about stuff. And when I'm thinking about stuff, I come up with a million things that I want to talk about, and I can't talk about them because I got so-and-so on the show, or I got this on the show, and I can't do it. So next week, I can do it because it's all me and you, and I'll open up the phones and you can bitch about anything you want to bitch about or tell me some good stuff or whatever. But, I like that. I miss it. Back in the old days, it was just that. I just talk about stuff. And now, people gotten used to guests, and I have some great guests, so I can't complain about that either. But, man, the time just flies. But anyway, next week, you want to just mark it on your calendar again. I always tell you to mark it on your calendar because it's worth it. But next form of business, my beloved YouTube that they have reckoned me with please, please, please. I know if you're watching from all the other platforms, but just do me a favor and go over to YouTube, click on the subscribe button. It's free. I'm slowly rebuilding that whole thing for when they killed me and knocked me out and throttled me back and all that. I need more subscriptions. They're free. I mean, the numbers on there, because it's pathetic, folks. I'll flat out tell you, they've ruined it. And, you know, anytime you start doing something, if they don't like what you're talking about, they wipe you out. Well, they have really put a hurting on me on that. And I've nothing I can do about it. It's their platform. However, they're letting me stay on it, but I'm having to slowly rebuild. And if you'll just be so kind and go onto YouTube and hit the subscribe button, once I get over that certain number, then they start opening up the gates and making it a little bit easier to start attracting, people to my channel, because they're making it very difficult for me. But please do that. Please, please, please. And always, I love you for watching the show, but if you can't watch the show because you're busy, I know Rodney takes the Peter G Show on the road. He just puts an earbud in his ear. He Googled Peter G Show podcast, and when he's driving down those roads, going to wherever the heck he's going, parts unknown, he's listening to the Peter G Show right there. You know, there's almost 300 shows with all those different topics. And so all you have to do is take the show on the road. The podcast is the next best thing to being right here watching this show. But for those of you who do watch, I love you for it. But I know life is busy. So please take the podcast on the road with you if you can, you know. At work. Who wants to be at work? God knows work is boring sometimes for some people. I like my job. But it is work. So I put the Peter G Show in my ear. Please. That's that. All right. So here's what's happening now. Let me see. Rodney, give me a private. The sound is horrible. That's weird. It should be horrible on your end. Is anybody else hearing bad, funky sound? Somebody just, that's odd. Don't know. We'll go until somebody else. If anybody here says that it's sounding funky, let me know, because I won't think there's much I can do. We're on the same standard of everything, but we're just going to roll with it and hope that maybe it's just on your end or something by fluke. That is very strange. Never have those problems. Let's cross our fingers, folks. Okay, so here's what's going to happen here. I am going to be back in just a minute, but first we need to hear from my friends over at Clean Star Products with their DX1 driver fuel additive. So I'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Tyrone Thompson of CleanStarProducts.com. This is DX1 Driver in the news, and here's what our friends have to say.
So I'm here to recap on the DX1 I've used. I put it in the oil and I put it in the gas. When I'm using it just for about 3 tanks. Cleaned everything out. I got every ounce of power back in my truck.
When Jared's truck was new, it had a lot of power. Then over time, it began to slow down. He got it all back with our DX1 Driver program.
Something you got to see for yourself. It's a great product. It's affordable. And it blows all the other additives and esters out of the water.
DX1 Driver is the finest oil in the world from a California environmental company. It goes into the fuel system and the oil. It's the only green grade product qualified for the carbon credits program, giving you better fuel mileage, lower emissions, and increased horsepower. So join the fuel savings revolution today. Go to CleanStarProducts.com/shop.
That's right. DX1 driver. It works, folks. They made something that actually works. Let's face it, gas is expensive. Cars are expensive. Take care of your cars. Save on fuel. It's a little bitty bottle. You put it in your average size car and clean oil change, and one in every fill up of fuel, up to 10% better fuel economy. If you want more information from these guys, go to www.cleanstarproducts.com and write to them. Ask them questions. They'll talk to you. I swear, they're great people, and they have something that actually works. Passes the California emissions. And believe me, if it can pass California emissions, it can pass anything. Go talk to them. It makes sense to save money. Promise. Tell them the Peter G Show sent you. That'll do it. All right. Let's move this thing along. As promised, from parts unknown, he's out traveling right now. He's on the road, but he took a little time to be on our show tonight, and I'm really glad for that, because I've been following this guy for a long time, a couple of years now. And all of a sudden, just things kind of came together, and here he is. He's going to be on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Rodney Norman.
Hello, it's me. How are you?
You're looking like a doozy.
How's
I
it
like
going?
it.
I'm digging this background.
I'm getting. Yeah, man. You need to give me.
How you doing, Peter? It's good to be
You know
here.
what? I'm really glad that you were able to make the show because, Rodney, I've been watching you for several years now. I bumped into you by accident or found you on TikTok, and I didn't know. I just thought you were just some guy talking well, you probably are some guy that's just talking your mind, but that's how I found you. I got a videotape that before we get...
Yeah, that's all I am. I'm just some dude out in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
spouting off nonsense. That's it.
Well,
That's my whole shtick.
I don't know if it's nonsense. I mean, I think it's actually you make a lot of sense, but it's just when I first saw you, I know you know what you're doing, but the thing is, can I play a quick video of the first time I saw you? Can we do that? And then we'll go from there.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, let's
Roll
do it.
that
Here we
beautiful
go.
bean footage.
Yeah, so this is the first time I found Rodney Norman on TikTok, and I did not know what I was looking at, but I knew enough to capture this video and put it on my show, and I did a couple of years ago because I was just fascinated by it. So here it is.
So today we're gonna talk about how a lot of things are stupid right now because there's a whole bunch of stupid people who are making decisions that are stupid, and then there's a whole bunch of other stupid people who think that they're really smart by saying that the stupid people and the stupid things they're doing are smart because they agree with the stupid things they're doing. And so the people are pretending they're smart, but they're actually really stupid, but they can't admit that they're stupid, even though the things that are going on are stupid. And so you got a whole lot of stupid being perpetrated by a whole lot of stupid people, and then supported by even more stupid people, and then the rest of us are just kind of standing around going, this ain't good. And so there's pretty much, that's pretty much it. That's what's going on. I don't know what to tell you. Just a whole lot of stupid going on.
I believe you. I believe you. You remember that video?
I forgot about that one.
I think it's a great video. I mean, that captured my
Well,
eye. I took that video.
Yeah, that was my summary of.
That was it. I think it was
my summary of basically the last 3 years.
Well, I think it was very philosophical. I mean, to me, it makes total sense to me. But just looking at you and watching you do it, okay, I know you're in comedy. I know you. Why don't you give everybody a brief synopsis about who you are, what you've been doing, and how long you've been doing it, and then we'll go from there.
Well, it all begins at a roller skating rink in Springville, Utah, when my parents met each other. And then fast forward, I came into the world. No, I've been doing comedy since '98. Been doing stand-up. Just another dude talking on a mic. And then the whole pandemic thing came along, and all my comedy stuff dried up and got canceled. So I just started focusing on making dumb videos, and just started having a lot of fun. And the character is based off my drunk grandfather as the world's worst life coach. And that's where I got started with the whole video thing, was just introducing the world to my drunk grandfather. and
Wow.
just started having fun with it. Because everybody else was being all mean and nasty, if you remember.
Yeah.
Everybody was ornery and angry, and I was like, I don't want to be ornery and angry. I just want to make fun of this whole thing and move on with my life. I mean, we were all hoping it was apocalypse. We were all hoping it was good. Zombies were going to start popping out, and we were going to turn into a road warrior situation. We were all hoping for that, and then when it didn't happen, it's kind of a letdown. I have to go back to, this whole thing with uh, you know, credit ratings and bills and stuff. I was really hoping to live off my wits. I mean, I could build a fire with 2 sticks, so I was like, hey, I can survive in that situation. This whole
Wow.
thing where you gotta file taxes and do spreadsheets. I'm
Yeah.
a mess in this one.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Well,
a complete disaster in this reality. I want a different one. So that's what I was going for.
okay. I mean, because look, I saw when when the minute I saw you, the character you do is very well done. And I knew that you had to be pulling from somewhere because we all do. I've done stuff in the past. You draw from that, but holy moly, I mean, the hesitation and the pause that you put into the way you do it is what drew me in. And I was just totally enamored. And I'm going, and I told my daughter, because this was probably 3 years ago, and she didn't know who you were at the time, and she's a TikTok fanatic, but I said, there's this guy on here, and he's kind of strange, but he makes sense, but he's totally friggin' strange. I said, I'm putting him on the show. I'm putting him on, and now she knows, she's caught on to you, but well done. I mean, everything you say makes complete sense. It just looks pretty screwed up listening to you and watching you say it, if that makes any sense,
Yeah, that's a big thing. When you're doing a character, you gotta go all in on him. And this was these little weird pauses and sort of misdirections. That was how my grandfather used to talk. He would be talking about one thing, and all of a sudden he's talking about something else, and then come back and be right on point to the other thing. And it was, even though it seemed discombobulated, he was a very intelligent man and had important things to say. And so just being able to pull that out and do it is it's been a blast. But I've been too good of an actor with it, because some people got mad at me when they found out that it was an act.
Okay, because I've seen you do.
Because they believed that this was a real person.
I thought it was. I really did, because that you were that good at it. But then I've seen you when I started digging in. I've seen your intellectual sound. I've seen you without a beard and talking.
Oh, man.
Like college educator professor sounding, and it's like, holy crap. Okay, the joke's on me. I'm
that's the whole thing. I just started having fun with this whole internet thing and being able to just make stuff and people will watch it. It's like, oh, this is crazy.
How old was your grandfather?
I'm just going to start doing all kinds of stuff.
How old was your grandfather?
He died when he was. Well, my grandfather was 63 when he passed. I was 12 at the time.
Oh, damn. He was young.
So, my recollections are from when I was a real kid. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, he drank himself to death. It was all self-inflicted.
Gotcha.
He had been through a hard life. He'd seen some pretty hard things. So,
did he have a beard too, or is that an addition to the whole story?
Oh no, the beard's a whole addition. No, my grandfather, he was a very, very pristine gentleman. He always looked his best all the time. In fact, he had a little pencil thin mustache, and he always had his hair perfectly coiffed. I thought that when I was a child, I thought my grandfather was Vincent Price. He looked just like him.
Okay. So, what got you?
It was pretty crazy as a kid, because I watched Vincent Price movies and I'd go look at my grandpa and go, "Where's the same person?" But no, he was funny because he always dressed perfectly. So.
Okay. See, we're learning things, because again, so what got you to come up with this look, or is that the way? I mean, did you do it for business, or you just did it because that's who you are?
I just love the beard. I decided to grow it out. And I mean, I'd been doing the character on stage well before I had the beard or anything. But when I started doing the videos and I had the beard, I was thinking of shaving it off at one point in time. And then when the first time I did the character with the beard on, I was like, oh, this is even better. So
no doubt. I mean, with the hair.
No, I love the beard.
Beard,
mostly because I'm not a very handsome fella, so the beard kind of covers up stuff.
Yeah, I have that same problem, but it's something we learned to live with.
The beard is a nice distraction.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, you take the beard, but
that's why women.
What do the women do?
Well, women have the benefit of being able to use makeup and do contouring and basing. Man, we got the beard. We just cover everything up.
Okay, see, I can't. I don't have the patience to grow a beard. I keep wanting to, like, I don't know. It takes. That's very good. Santa, you can get an extra job at Christmas. I think you've dressed up as Santa during Christmas, haven't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Look at you.
Yes. In fact, I did a comedy special as Santa Claus.
There you go. Wow. It
was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, again, did you do it as that character? Did you do it as that character?
No, I did. I played it straight up as Santa Claus. Because he's a fascinating character.
True.
Most people, when they would do a Santa Claus stand up, they go with the dirty or a drunk Santa Claus. And I thought, he's a very, Santa Claus is a very put together fellow, and he's been around for a long time. He's seen a lot of stuff. He's not gonna tap around the issues, and so that's how I presented him. He's more of a curmudgeon than anything, but a caring and kind curmudgeon.
Gotcha.
So it was a lot of fun to play. And I've thought about doing another one at some point in time, but.
Well, Christmas will be here before you know it. I mean, time is just flying, and you'll have plenty of Christmas.
Yes.
So on your website and everything, it's like it's motivational speaker, philosopher. Now, is that all combined together into the comedy act, or is there a party that really motivationally speaks beyond the grandpa, grandfather character and all that?
Yeah, I would say that there's a message in almost everything I do. I love, because I studied philosophy, I have a degree in it, and I love bringing that into the mix. And because really about philosophy is about examining your life and trying to find purpose and meaning in all of it. And I just love making fun of it all, because life is ridiculous. This whole thing is absurd and insane that we're even here.
Yeah.
We should be having a great time. I mean, we really all should just be having a good time all the time. And that's what I want to share with the world. Hey, let's lights just went out in here. Holy cow.
I hope the power stays on.
That was crazy.
I hope the power stays on.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I don't know. So long as we keep on having signal, that's all that matters. I can see you. Wow.
Okay.
Because I've noticed that all the TikTok videos I've seen of you, there is a message in everything you talk about, and it's the most simplistic message, but you manage to make it turn it semi, dysfunctional in a functional kind of way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I find the character is somewhat disarming, because you're not expecting a message from this guy.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out what's wrong with this dude, and then all of a sudden he just starts hitting you with the facts, with reality, and kind of pulls people out of a funk when they start realizing, hey, I'm overthinking all this. I know you've got the answers. This is the trick of Socrates. He always said, I can't teach anybody anything. I can only get them to believe in what they already know. And that's really my goal, is to just draw the truth out of people, get people to realize, you know how to live your life, you know how to be happy, you know how to do all this. So
Wow.
pull together and start doing it.
Well, you do it in a very, like I said, I've never seen anything like it before, and it's the whole reason why you're here today, because I'm going. You have such a way at telling these little things and making them make sense if somebody's got the patience to let you spit it out because of the way you do it. But I love it. I love it. I think it's kind of funny. That's very funny.
Yeah, that is my biggest complaint people have. They're like, just spit it out, just get to the point.
Yeah, but that's what
And
makes you.
I'm like, the fact that I'm not getting to the point is kind of the point.
Exactly, but they might not get that, but that's why I thought you were so real, because you stop and hesitate and forget what the hell, or sound like you're forgetting what you're saying so well that I said, I just said, at first, again, I thought it was real, and people will check out your videos and see all that, but you've honed that craft of that character very well, sir.
Thank you.
Let's talk about retirement. I see you complaining about retirement because you something about you thought Jesus was or something. What's up with that?
Yeah, my mom was a prepper growing up.
Oh yeah?
So we were always, had 5-gallon buckets of wheat everywhere, and we were rotating food stock. I mean, we're just waiting for the end of the world to come. And our first thought was, year 2000. It seemed like a good ending point. And then it came and went, and you remember Y2K, the big deal was the computers were going to kill us all.
Yeah.
And it turns out all we had to do was turn them off and turn them back on again. And we were fine. We averted that disaster. Then, of course, 2012 came along. The Aztec calendar was running out. It was, okay, here we go. We're all going to, planets are going to line up. We're all going to die. Aliens are going to show up, something.
Yeah.
And then it was nothing. It was just basically a regular Thursday night. Really let down. And then when this whole pandemic thing came along, it's like, all right, here we are. Everything's shutting down. We're ready for it. Let's go. And then nothing. It just turned out to be just mostly a big inconvenience for a couple of years. As apocalypses go, it's a real bummer.
Yeah,
it's a real letdown. And so now I gotta. I mean, I'm starting to think maybe apocalypse isn't going to happen in my lifetime, and so now I got to start putting some money away.
Well, yeah. I mean, no. I thought what I read was it was something.
But I think we're
Jesus. No, I thought you were waiting for Jesus to come back or something.
That's right. I thought Jesus was going to come back, and he hasn't showed up yet. It's getting close. It's looking more. Revelations is more of a. I mean, it's more of a live Twitter feed at this point in time.
Wow.
But it's it's coming along, and then of course the whole collapse of the financial system. I'm kind of banking on that because that's what my retirement plan is based on.
You and me both. I mean,
I look like I'm, as far as that goes, I look like gambled in the right direction on that one.
Again, I think if they want to really, take us all out, they just need to try a little harder. They're not trying hard enough. They think they got it, but they just really need to put a little, you got to put effort into something. I mean, and I don't think they're putting exactly enough effort if they really want to make things, go down in flames. Too many people are not willing to take it so easy, and so here we are.
Well, I mean, the thing is to pull off the whole wiping everybody out. You're depending on the government organization to do this, and they've never done anything at all. So,
yeah,
that's the disappointing, is that we're wanting all this to fail. We want society to collapse, but we got to put the governments in charge of it, and they can't even do that right.
Right, and that's to their benefit this time, and they can't even do that right because they haven't. Yeah, they need to practice more. Practice is the only way to get to Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly.
I saw something from you. Let me see where the heck it is. That speaking of taking charge, I want to know if this is true or not. But I actually saw this from you. Is it true that you're possibly going to be be a running candidate for President Rodney Norman 2024? Is this true? No.
Yeah, just because I found out that people can give you money and then you could pay yourself to run.
Really?
I'm like, hey, this sounds like a racket. I want in on this one.
Well, yeah, it's been gone. I just happened to see this, and I go, well, he must be serious. You know. If you were to run,
well,
for president,
people are telling me to run.
Yeah, but what would you run? What would you stand on? I mean, besides the soapbox, to what would be your running? The things you'd be talking about.
Oh, pretty simple. I would shut down about 60% of the federal government because it's a complete waste of money. I would end the Fed because that's a disaster. I don't think. Obviously, we can run the government by just printing money. So, why are we collecting taxes? That's what I want to know. We're all just playing with monopoly money at this point in time. Let's just print more money.
Sure.
Doesn't that fix everything? Let's do it.
If you get rid of most of the government and the feds and all that, you're going to have a high unemployment rate, though. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay, I don't know.
But if you stop sucking all of that talent, because we have a delay.
Yeah, it's okay.
If you stop sucking all of that talent out of the marketplace, it will benefit the marketplace because then that talent goes back into it, and then we're better. Because look, if you pull the government out of the crap they're doing, the economy will grow on its own. The government holds it back more than it helps it.
Sure.
I mean, all fairness to Mr. Keynes, but he was an idiot, didn't know what he was talking about.
All right, that's a good thing to go on. So I mean, so basically, when do you really plan on announcing? Have you announced yet, or is this preliminaries and you're just tipping it around?
In the fall.
Okay, in the fall. I'll be looking forward to that. I think it would be at least there'll be somebody interesting in there, to take the bull by the horns. Wow.
Yes.
I noticed you said something about today. You said something that you've been thinking a lot about stuff and thinking and doing a lot of stuff that you wanted to tell on this show. Is there anything that's really you've been really thinking and doing about that's about my listeners and viewers want to know about?
Yeah, I'm writing a couple books. One of them, basically everything you need to know about life that you never thought to ask. I'm just going to lay it all out. It'll be the last book you'll ever need to read. It'll be the only book. You have kids, you just say, read this book. This explains everything, and it's going to be great. It's going to have pictures. It's going to have connect the dot stuff to put, entertain yourself. But yeah, it's my goal is to write a book. There's the last book. It's the only book anyone will ever need to read, and you'll have a complete understanding of what all life is about.
That's a hell of a book.
So far, I've gotten. I've written the introduction, and that's as far as I've gotten. But it's coming along. I keep thinking about it. Well, and we're going to do it. We're going to write.
That sounds like a bestseller, if you ask me. I mean, because I think a lot of
people.
It'll
be the only seller. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot of confused people in the world. We're finding out a lot more than I ever thought there was, especially our younger generation, because they're being not taught as well. I don't think. I don't know what your take is.
Oh, no, I agree with you. You know, our whole educational system, it's designed on the idea that you teach kids to show up, shut up, and do what they're told. And that's not what we need. We need thinkers. We need thinkers and doers. We need people who want to get out there and shake things up and make the world a better place, and not just go along with every idiotic idea that comes along. We got to get people to think. We took out logic from the school system. We took out critical thinking. These kids are just told to regurgitate information, and they think they're geniuses because they're given A's. So they're told that they're really smart because they regurgitated back the same information they were given. So yay, you're smarter than everybody else. And so so we've created this ridiculous little feedback system that's is creating a bunch of idiots, and we need to counter it somehow. We need to let them know, hey, you need to pull your head out of whatever orifice you got shoved in and start noticing what's going on. And but you got to do it in a loving, kind way. You can't, if you just say, hey, you're a bunch of little dumb idiots, what the hell are you doing? Then they're looking at you like you're just an old codger. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And so you got to find a way. You got to trick them into being smarter. So, it's sort of this double-edged sword, because it's like we know they're capable of being smarter, but at the same time they're really stupid. So we got to trick them into being smarter, and we know we can pull it off because they're too stupid to figure out that we're trying to make them smarter. And if you follow me on that one.
Bravo.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think that's bravo. Well said. I can't put all the blame on them because they were fed this, and you only know what you know. And unfortunately, they weren't brought up
absolutely
in the right direction. But how do you turn them around? I mean, we got a bunch of pansies on our hands now. I mean, it's not what.
Well, yeah, because they're told that they're smarter than us. They're told that they see the world in a better view, that they're more understanding and reasonable and all this nonsense. And just getting them to realize that this isn't anything new, that they've been sold a bill of goods. They've been told the oldest lie since the beginning of time, and they think that it's new. They think that they've got it all figured out. They're seeing things like no one else has seen it before. Oh no, we've seen exactly what you're thinking. It's what kept leading us to wars and kept leading us to poverty and a failure as a society and as a culture. You're falling into that trap, and just eventually they'll pull it out. I do think they're smart. I think they'll start figuring out. I think some of them are. Some of them are starting to see what they're getting fed a bunch of crap. So
I hope
it's coming along. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems disastrous. I mean, the
problem is that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, as we always say, and that's what it is. It's just the culture. The ones that speak loudest, we give them attention, and we give them what they want to hopefully get them to shut up. But what they've learned is not to shut up. They just keep going for more and more. And at some point in time, we've just got to put our foot down and say, sit down and shut up. You guys have no idea what the hell you're even talking about. You're making up crap. You're making things worse than they ever were. You're creating problems that were never there. Stop doing this. We were doing pretty good. We were moving along pretty well. And then people for, money and political power, they start jumping in on it. And here we are. And at the same time, we're going, well, we kind of saw it coming because, some of us pay attention to this kind of stuff. So mostly you just got to enjoy the ride, because it's all just a complete nonsense and idiocy. And nothing you do is going to make it any better. So you might as well just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. I mean, do what you can, where you can, but for the most part, hey, we got a fast track to a complete disaster. It's sort of a weird thing because it's a complete train wreck, We know it's going to be a complete train wreck. We know it's going to be a glorious and fun to watch, but at the same time, we're also on the train. So, it's like,
Yeah.
you win, you lose.
Yeah. I think common sense has gotten lost in the whole equation. I just recently I was lucky enough, and I did a magazine article about 2 weeks ago, and she asked, what is one of your, what do you think is really important in what you do and, in your career and this and that? And common sense, I said, was like really a big one for me, because I know tons of educated people that are just friggin' idiots. I don't, and you could have all the education in the world, but they don't use it properly. And the common sense has just gone out the door. And again, they're talking about stuff that they don't really know what they're talking about. But try turning that around now.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's that part of that system where people who go to school and get really educated, they're kind of confirmed in their bias that they think that they're smarter than everybody else because they've been to college, and all college has taught them is to believe a system that's completely irrational and incomprehensible to the rest of the world, and they think that makes them smarter because somehow they comprehend it. But when you really talk to them, they have no idea what they're talking about either. But because they have a degree, then obviously they're smarter than you are. So it's that whole idiotic nonsense. And yeah, common sense isn't all that common. That you would think.
You would think.
I mean, we've gotten to a point where just standing up for just the basics of anything, and you're looked at as old-fashioned and some sort of a patriarchal monster. And it's like, nah, this is just. I'm not pushing a system. I'm just pushing reality.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't buy into an ism. I'm just talking about science and reality and economics. It's not something that somebody just made up and said, let's go with this. No, this is how we're trying to go along with how it actually works. And we're getting called, fools for believing so. And all you could do is just, like I said, enjoy the ride, enjoy the whole idiocy of the whole thing. Because if you let it drive you crazy, man, you are going to go crazy.
I think that there's too many different versions of people's realities nowadays. That's the problem. It's like your reality is different than somebody else's reality, and they're firm believers in their reality. You're a firm believer in your reality. And then how do you explain that to somebody? Because they think you're nuts and you think they're nuts.
Yeah, as I've always said, you're free to choose your own reality, but you're getting everyone else to go along with it is the tricky part. And they've seemed to buy into that whole idea. It's like, well, I'm going to force everybody to accept my reality. I'm going to destroy anyone that questions my reality.
That's because
that's one of the things we're up against.
Or you're a racist. You're a racist if you don't buy into my reality.
Yeah, the whole idea, and it's it's used everywhere, is that if you're not with me, you're against me, and if you're against me, it's because you're either evil or you're stupid. And that seems to be all political discourse now, is if you don't believe what I believe, then obviously you're either an idiot or you're evil.
Yeah.
And once you're at that point in time, real discourse is pretty much out the window. You're never going to get anywhere.
It's a sad state we're living in. But do you utilize, let's talk about your shows, and, because you're on the road currently right now, aren't you?
Yes. In fact, I'm going to be in Oregon this weekend, so I'm pretty excited.
Okay, that's a state right there that has taken off and wants to be left alone to do everything the way they want to do it.
And I say we let them. I say let's put up a border and say, knock yourselves out.
Yeah, there you go. Enjoy.
Half the state wants to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so bad. Half the state wants to become part of Idaho. Just think about that. They want to be part of Idaho. That's how bad it's gotten. Just let that sink in your head. You ever been to Idaho? You know what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, sometimes people are into, Idaho. I mean, one man's junk is another man's gold.
Yes.
It just
Like
is.
things have gotten so bad, we want people in Boise to tell us what to do because this is crazy.
Well, they seem to have their head on a little bit straighter, regardless of what's going on over there. I don't hear many problems in Idaho. Is there?
Yeah, they've got a pretty even kill. They stay under the radar. They're they've got their issues here and there, but for the most part, I love Idaho. I love people in Idaho.
Look, I'm in California, and
Don't get me
I'm
wrong.
I'm constantly tossing the ball on whether to get out of here or put up with every week they come up with more shit to throw on top of the pile, the burden.
Oh yeah, you guys are crazy.
No, not you guys, but the people running it are crazy. I just happen to be here at the wrong time, I guess. I've been here 30 years,
Yeah.
and now I think it's almost time to go. From California. Not
Yeah,
from the
it's Oh yeah, California's just gotten insane. Every time I go there, I keep asking people, why do you live in a place that your government thinks you're all idiots? Why do you guys keep putting up with this nonsense?
Because we got great
They
weather.
just come up with more and more ridiculous stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the weather is great, but holy cow.
I know.
Holy cow, the stuff you guys put up with.
Every week.
Crime. We were there doing some shows, and we had I don't know if you heard this story, but we had one of those car toppers on our car. And in there was a bunch of t-shirts that, I'm selling at my gigs.
Yeah.
Because, it's how I get gas money is hawking t-shirts. We went to lunch. We went to Panda Express in the middle of the day in a big open air, big busy shopping area. We park, we go in, we're in there for like 26 minutes. We come out, they had stolen the topper off of our car and took, a couple $100 worth of t-shirts. So there's a bunch of, I don't know why. And it's like, because it's less than $1,000, the cops wouldn't even come and make a report.
Yeah.
It was a waste of their time. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I kind of feel bad for them that their lives are so pathetic that they followed some dude from Connecticut to steal. I guess they thought they were going to steal my underwear or something. I don't know what they were hoping to get out of my
that was it.
Chopper, but they got a bunch of t-shirts to tell them to enjoy their stupid life.
I maybe I could find. So that's where the discounted Rodney Norman t-shirts are coming from. Where in California was this? Where was this at?
Well, it kind of worked out because it was a bunch of mixed match sizes that were hard to sell.
Okay.
It was near Magic Mountain.
Oh, Valencia. Yeah.
That area.
Santa Clarita. Well, I'm not very far from there. I mean, but I'm telling you, in most places, now I'm very fortunate, but in most places I've learned you blink and it's gone because the crooks, that's their job. And so you leave things out of sight. Make sure you lock your doors. I don't care if you're doing it for a minute, and because you're looking for trouble, because that's their job, stealing, and it sucks. And that's a lot of places, but that's horrible.
Yeah, and
wow.
And like they told me, if it's under $1,000, they won't even make a report on it.
No, they won't. We're having so many problems with smash and grabs right now in LA. And they're just going in by 100 people at a time. And just what are you going to do about it? They just go in and clean the store out and leave. It's horrible.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of these stores are just closing up shop and leaving.
Yeah, Walmart.
Why bother?
Walmart in San Francisco, one of them is closing down. If a Walmart closes down, we're in deep trouble. Because, they got deep pockets, but they just said, the hell with it. We're done.
Yeah.
And
Plus, Walmart's already succeeded running everybody else out of business.
Yeah,
and now they're gone.
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got to go to? You got a couple 7-Elevens.
Yeah. We're gonna need.
to get
We're
your
gonna need.
groceries from. Not good luck.
No, we're gonna need more Rodney Norman T-shirts for clothing. You know. So, all right. So you're on the road. When you're on the road, I mean, what when you're doing these comedy things, are you doing current events, or do you have something that you kind of take from from show
Oh
to show?
my goal when you come to a stand-up show, I want you to forget about everything else. I don't really do any topical material. I don't, because everybody hears it all day. You're hearing all the, all that kind of stuff. You hear that all the time. I want to take you away from that. So you come back, sit down, watch my show, forget about life for a while. That's what I want to do for you. So that's what I do. So I'm talking about philosophy, history, science, my kids, my wife, people I met at a Walmart, just anything and anything but current events is what I'm after.
Okay, I didn't, because I haven't been to one of your shows, but believe me, I'm sure I'll end up at one of these days now, because of.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. The thing is, I just, I know that I'll tell you, being a comedian's a tough gig because you're kind of by yourself. It's not like being a band where at least there's other guys and people for support. You're a lone ranger out there, correct?
Oh yeah, it's all you. Yeah, you're in a band. If you miss a note or forget a line in the song, nobody knows, nobody cares,
Yeah.
But you make a miscue as a stand-up comic and everybody knows. Everybody sees it. It's all you. It's all, if it goes well, you're the hero. If it fails miserably, you're the worst, horrible, most despicable human being that ever existed. So, there's no safety net.
Right.
It's all you, but it's the best. It's the best feeling ever, though, when it works.
I get
it's amazing.
Mentally, do you get inside your own head sometimes and overthink things, or because it's a tough gig. It really is. It's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah. In fact, that if you're gonna fail, it's usually because of your own devices. Because you just get ahead of yourself, or you overthink it, or you forget what you knew, and you try to do something different and that isn't going to work, but for whatever reason your reptilian brain kicks in and gets you to do dumb things. Oh yeah, you go through it all. It's like a self-reflective psychoanalysis every time you get on stage.
Wow.
For the whole world to watch. You're basically having a mental breakdown in front of a group of people for money, and it's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, look, it's not only the fact that when you're on stage, you're by yourself in a band to cover. I'm talking about everything, traveling and things like that. Because I was way back in the day. My first trip to LA was with a band. And I was on Star Search. You remember Star Search, Ed McMahon, which most people don't anymore.
Oh, I love. Yeah,
I was on
America's Got Talent before America's Got Talent.
Exactly, and I was on there, and they had comedians. In fact, one of them made it pretty popular, and it wasn't Sinbad; it was somebody else. But there was this kid that came from I want to say Idaho or something like that, and he was a comedian, and he was all by himself. And we were taping. And the crowd was there, and he came on stage, and he went to do his line, and he flubbed it all up. And he stopped midway and says, "Can we retake that?" And that just took the whole show, it just took his whole show out from under his feet, because he stopped to do it over again. And the people, the reaction, everything like that was just all out the door. And man, I felt him. I could feel his loneliness when he got off that stage, because he was just all by himself. There was nobody to either kick him in the nuts and say you screwed up, or pat him on the back, or nothing. He was just by himself in his own head going, I just screwed up on Star Search.
Biggest stage available possible.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, it's a tough one. It is. You're out on the road right now, and you're from the East Coast, correct?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Utah, but I've lived in Connecticut for the last 20 years.
Okay, and how many shows a year now that you're back going? Is things picked up and you're out, like you're doing a steady thing, or how's that going?
Oh yeah, it's just about every weekend I'm on stage somewhere.
Gotcha.
So and then I'm picking up stuff more and more during the week, and so yeah, and I'm getting a lot of weird stuff too. It's not just stand up. I'm getting people are having me come and marry them,
Oh,
to officiate their wedding.
yeah.
I'm getting people are paying me to come and hang out at their birthday parties, hosting music festivals. I mean, it's the sky's the limit. It's
Yeah.
it's not just stand up anymore. It's everything and anything. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
I thought you were going to say, when you're saying people are getting me to do all kinds of weird stuff, and it was going to be, like your show, like this show, Yeah.
Where is
weirder,
that?
yeah, weirder things can happen, but I mean, this is off key. I have not had. You are the very first professional comedian, because we crack up. We do a bunch of stupid stuff here, but you are the first one, so that'll go down. That'll go down in the books. So, I mean, and when I talked to you, I said, do you want to do any of your acting? You go, no. Let's just talk. Let's just do, let's just talk about things and find out things that most people don't get to see. When you're on stage, let the stage be the stage.
Yeah, they can watch my videos. They can find that. They can find all that other stuff.
Yeah. So now we got the behind the
It's
scenes.
already out there.
Behind the scenes, Rodney Norman, right here, folks. You've seen it here first. But
yes.
We're running out of time. I want to be able to let people, where are we? I want to let people be able to know how they can find you if they want to check you out some more. You have your own website, is that correct?
That is correct. I'm old school. I still have my own website.
Hey.
rodneynorman.com.
Yeah.
You can find all the Rodney Norman stuff you want.
All right, you can have a Rodney Norman weekend or more with all that stuff on there.
Absolutely.
Well, but you're on TikTok a lot, right? You're on a lot of platforms now. Because I only saw you on TikTok, but now that we're coinciding right here, you're on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook, you're Instagram, but you do a lot of TikTok stuff too. So.
Oh yeah, I'm on all the big ones. Yeah, TikTok has been kind of weird. I hate to say shadow banned, but I keep putting stuff out on TikTok and nobody's watching it. So I don't know if I upset somebody at the TikTok organization, but they aren't sharing my stuff with anybody right now. It's kind of weird. Well, but no, I'm still putting stuff out every day. I put stuff out and people go, "Where have you been?" I'm going, "Right here." I've been doing it. Well, I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
All under Rodney Norman. Rodney Norman will take wherever they want to go. Wow. See, and I thought I was the only one that nobody was watching,
I'm wherever you want me to be.
That's it. Well, cool. How long before you get back to Connecticut?
I won't be back there till the end of May. And we'll be hanging out there for about a week or so and then be on our way to Dallas in middle of June. So
gonna hit the South.
We're keeping it moving.
South's gonna rise again.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the South, but I have Connecticut roots too. I told you that when we spoke. But yeah, you're all over the place, and you're tearing it up one comedy place at a time. But let's put it again, because I'm gonna get my ass kicked because we're gonna have to go. If there's anything you want to leave my viewers, my audience, and something to live in infamousy, to go down on tape here, to leave my people with, philosophically, life-wise, anything. What you got? Anything off the top of your head that you can leave my people with?
The best minds of all time have tried to figure out the meaning of life, and none of them could come up with anything. So if you want to take a crack at it, go ahead. Good luck with that. But when it really comes down to it, just enjoy your life, and we'll sort it out all in the end. I'm pretty sure the God person's all right, pretty understanding. So don't hurt anybody. have a good time, enjoy the ride.
Hmm.
Quit overthinking it.
Makes sense. Makes sense to me.
That's pretty much it. It seems like, hey, that seems like there's not a big climax. No, there isn't. That's it. That's the secret of life. There isn't one.
Secret is there is no secret. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never paid attention.
It is what you see it is.
Wow. I'm just trying to keep the bills paid, man. That's I think a lot of people are just struggling financially. So trying to live life to its fullest is getting very difficult.
That's right. That's why I'm telling you. We need to just collapse society and go back to being cavemen. That was fun. That would have been cool.
Ooga booga.
I'll run around half naked, just light fires and chase animals, gather berries in the woods. Come on, who doesn't want that?
You're a fan of
trying to learn Chat GPT and trying to understand Bitcoin. Come on, let's go back to just gathering raspberries in the wild.
You're a big fan of the loincloth, are you?
Absolutely.
Oh wow. See, I wanted to ask you about Chat GPT and I forgot. Jesus, too much to talk about. We'll have to catch it another time. Again, this is just the beginning. We are friends forever now. So
yes.
So this was just the opener for this show, and we'll pick it up another time. But I want to thank you for taking the time. I know that, like I said, you're on the go and you've been traveling and you barely got in to get everything just to be on the show. So I thank you. But people want to see Rodney Norman. You go to www.rodneynorman.com and you could see them right there in the flesh, and check out his stuff on TikToks and YouTubes and all the other stuff too. And you'll be there and you'll keep on you put out a lot of content every day almost, right?
Yeah, just about every day I'm throwing out everything I can.
Yeah.
I got that. When you don't worry about production value and quality, you can pump out a lot of crap. So that's my strategy.
There you go. Yeah. Believe me, believe me, all this is gonna be going away soon. It's the creditors are knocking on the door, and I'm gonna be doing it under a bridge. I make a joke of that, but stay tuned, folks. But we'll be doing it. An antenna or AM radio antenna, and I'm in. All right, look, again, thank you so much, Rodney, for doing this. I appreciate it, and my people, I'm sure, will appreciate it. And we'll just talk to you down the road, and good luck with all the stuff, and we'll be in touch, all right?
All right, sounds great. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. I'll talk to you. Wave bye to everybody. Good. There you go. It's like a doozy. I like that background. It's flipping me out. All right. So that's right. Live long and prosperous. All right, I'll see you later. Here we go. Holy moly. I told you, I should have done some acid before I talked to Rodney. Then I just go with the flow because I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to get myself to not worry about things and just let things go. But he seems to have a bigger grip on that. And I'm not, I wish I got it. I'm going to end up talking more to him because, again, he seems to have that laid back. It's like, whatever. And I'm not there yet with the whatever. Maybe it's because of all the pressure around me. It's not whatever. But I'm very thankful because every time I talk to people, I learn something. And I think I just learned more too. I need to relax. I need to relax more and just take a deep breath. Maybe I'll grow a beard. I don't know. Maybe that'll make me feel differently or something like that, and be twins or something. I can hang out with Rodney, and then they won't know the difference. But either way, I thank Rodney Norman for coming out. Last time, www.rodneynorman.com. Go check him out. I'm telling you, especially TikToks. He's got lots of these little, highlight sound bites that are he makes sense. He makes sense in his own weird way. And I know he's making a joke, but I think there's a lot of seriousness behind it. That's why I've been watching him, because as fascinated as I am when I'm watching him, because it's really hard. You got to kind of lock into him because he does his character only too well. And I told my daughter, I said, wouldn't that be weird if that's really who he is? This really is. And again, you don't know it because that's who you think you are. But he does a great job. Go check him out and follow him. You know, just check out his stuff. It's worth it. And I'm glad after it took me 2.5 years. I think I found him almost 3 years ago, 2020. So he's finally on the show because we just kind of crossed paths. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to track him down and try to get him on the show. So here he is. Okay. Next week, I'm reminding you one more time, it's just me and open phone lines next week, as I love it because I get to talk about things that bug me, which is a lot of stuff, and take a deep breath and find out if you guys want to call in. If there's anything, that you want to get off your chest and talk about as well, that's important. That'd be cool. But I like, when we do the shows once in a while, a little bit of one-on-one, little intimacy, just us. But that's next week, right here. Last show of the month, as always, when we take it on our own hands and just go for it. And I'm looking forward to that. Also, just again, a reminder, YouTube, please, 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 if you're watching the show, please go and just hit the subscribe button on YouTube, please. Somebody just said his new cartoon is amazing. I know. I'm getting ready to put it on in a minute. One of them. I like that. I was going to surprise him with it, but yes, he's also a cartoon. Rodney is. Please go hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Get my channel going because again, once they crucified me, it's been a hell of a restart, and I would appreciate it. Even if you're watching from Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or any of that kind of stuff, just do me that favor, please. It's free. It costs you nothing but about 30 seconds of your time to just go and just hit the subscribe button. It notifies you when the show's on. Hey, we might even have topics that interest you, just like this one. Come on, it doesn't get any better than this. Remember, here at the Peter G Show, we spare no expense. And again, if you're busy and you can't watch, you're driving on the road, commuting from work, you're at work, Google Peter G Show podcast. It's easy. We're on 25 different platforms: Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those. There's a bunch of them. But you can take the show on the road with you, and it's the next best thing to being there. You put an earbud in your ear from wherever you're at, and you can be listening to things that I think are worthy of. But that's just my humble opinion, and that's basically it. My name is Peter G. You've been watching Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show. I thank you for watching the show. I just want to remind everybody, at the end of the day, life is very, very short. Be kind. There's a lot of pressure going on, and a lot of people are uptight and wound up really tight and just ready to bark. But you don't have to take a lot of shit from people, but you don't have to be an ass either. Just kind of find that happy medium. Take a deep breath, which is something I'm continually learning. Sometimes I'm better at it than others, but I'm trying. And that's the best you can do, is try. Go watch some of Rodney's videos all about that. Patience and just be kind, be good. He's got the right idea too. And thank you, fairy godmama. I'm reading comments at the same time. You come to me on the day of my show, fairy godmama. Just be cool, man. Life is just way too short, and we all need to stay together and get along. Can't we all just get along? I don't smoke pot, but if I did, I'm sure it would help some people, at least, or me, one or the other. I don't know how that works, something like that. But let's just all be together. All right, that's it. As always, I love you guys. My name is Peter G. See you next week, God willing, and peace out.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorce dad, single dad, divorce dad, single dad, Peter G Show.